Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
I just want to say, our guest today, I love him. I love him. You know those people you see and you're always happy to see them? And there's not a lot of them where you see them and it automatically brings a smile to your face, no matter what you're dealing with. It makes you just want to grab the person and hug them. That is our guest today. He is fucking hilarious. He's really smart. I just adore him on so many levels. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Wil Sylvince is here. Wil Sylvince!
Thank you for having me. I thought someone else was on when you're doing that introduction. I'm like, who else is here?
You, poo-poo. It's you, Wil.
Judy, I love you so much.
I love you. No, I love you. Like, I fucking love you.
Thank you. I love you more, damn it. Judy Gold is what I'm told.
Yeah, that's right, baby. Now, Wil, I don't know if you've ever listened to my podcast. We go into a deep dive of growing up, and I do a lot of research, and I love your story. You are a fascinating human being who has been through a lot, and you're fucking hilarious. But
thank you.
You're in New York. You're a native New Yorker.
Yep. Born and raised in Brookline,
New York, also known as Brooklyn, you motherfuckers. Son of Haitian immigrants. Your mother, Solange, and your father, Maurice, immigrated to the United States when they were in their 20s. Your father was an engineer, and they were very strict parents.
Yes, you know my parents well.
You have two brothers.
Three brothers.
Oh, fuck! Fuck, I did so much fucking research. Fuck, you have three brothers. What number are you?
I'm number 3.
Oh, so you're like low middle. So you're pretty much the forgotten child, but.
Probably.
Yeah. And are you close with them? Are you?
Oh, yeah. I'm close to my brothers. Love them very much.
And do they all live in the New York City area?
No, my little brother lives in Vegas. My older brother lives near Philly, and my second older brother lives in Long Island.
All right. Well, who the fuck lives in Vegas?
My little brother, he follows his job, so.
Wow. Well, fuck him. Yeah. All right. I hate Vegas. I mean, no, I don't. I love people who live in Vegas. I love you. Okay. So your childhood is so fascinating because you're in Brooklyn and you're a Haitian. Yeah. And it's not good in the 80s and 90s to be Haitian. We had a president who wouldn't even say the word AIDS, and people were blaming AIDS on the Haitians.
Yeah, in fact, he stopped Haitians from coming to the country because he thought they needed a scapegoat for AIDS. That's my opinion.
Right.
And so they're like, well, is the Haitians doing it? It's like, as you know.
Yeah. I mean, we also have the gay men, but, it's as long as they're a marginalized group, then, these people can use them as scapegoats.
It's easy to use them as the antagonist.
Right. So you're in Brooklyn and you're sort of embarrassed of your parents because of their values. And
when I was younger, I was embarrassed.
Yeah. We're talking about when you were a kid. Well, you know what? I had old parents. My parents were 41 and 48 when I was born. And they had different values than everyone. And kids are supposed to be embarrassed of their parents, but you had sort of a double whammy because they were immigrants, and your father taught you to pretend that you're Jamaican. Is that correct?
No.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a quick story. So
Yeah.
my parents was all about education and religion.
Right.
And they thought those are two things to make a great human being.
Right.
In fact, my parents never raised us on the color black. They thought be nice to people and be as smart as you could be, and that's how you elevate in the world.
Right.
So no matter who you are, what you look like, if you become really smart and you become very spiritual and you treat people the way you want to be treated, they will see past color.
That's all the armor you need. Is basic, yeah.
So they put us in Catholic school, right? Me and my three brothers. And so for a long time, I didn't know I was black. I found out I was black in Catholic school. So we went to this Catholic school. It was an all-white school. Maybe there was like 1 or 2 black people in our school. And we got bullied every day, right? And so my mother used to think it was us. She was blaming us. She said, what do you do? Because this is a religious school.
Right.
They don't bother nobody. They do all these things. Education of God. And so one day my mother went to the school and she brought us to the school to speak to the principal about our behavior. And we were sitting on the chairs, me and my brothers against the wall, and across from the chairs was the signing decks with the lady who signed people in. So my mother got up, she went and signed in, right? She turned around to come back and sit with us. When she turned around to sit down, the lady or the secretary grabbed the pen with a napkin and threw it in the garbage.
No fucking way.
So my mother said, she had a strong accent. She said, why you throw that in the garbage? And the lady was like, oh, the pen doesn't work. My mother got up and went in the garbage. Now, me and my brothers was embarrassed that she was digging the garbage. We was pale, so like, she digging the garbage in front of her. And she pulled out the pen and she scribbled on the paper. And it worked. She said it worked. And the lady go, oh, I really couldn't remember what she said, but whatever she said, she's like, oh, I guess it works now. My mother turned around to us and she said, let's go, right? And we all got up and we started walking on. We lived about 5 blocks. And we were scared, we were nervous. And we thought we did something to the pen because my mother was walking in front and we were tailing behind. And we would kept bickering about, I didn't do nothing to the pen. I don't even use pens. I use pencils. I thought pens was for grown-ups. So my older brother had the guts and courage to ask my mother, Mom, what happened? And my mother didn't say anything. She just turned around and she did this. She went like this. She rubbed her index finger on the back of her other hand. Right. So we just thought, me and my younger brothers, we thought we didn't take a shower, we're dirty, and we was like, I took a shower today. I don't know, And my older brother knew what it meant. My older brother goes and say, no, it's because we're black. And I said, we're black? Because I didn't know until now. I heard it. I was in the 2nd grade. I heard it, but my parents never raised us on a black thing. They raised us on just being a human being thing. Right. If that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah, you are.
So now in the school, they used to call me Blackie, right? But I thought they was calling me Blackie because my fingernail on my index finger is black. It's a rare condition that, I think every 10 kids have, right? So boys. My index finger is black. So I thought when they was calling me Blackie, they was talking about my index finger. Right. My nail. So I used to put my finger inside my palm when I go to school so no one could see it. And it would still be like, there go Blackie. I'm like, how can they see my finger in my palm? And I used to walk around with my hand in my pocket and still, there go Blackie. I'm like, they can still see this nail. Right. And then and lo and behold, they were not talking about my nail.
It just shows you how prejudice is taught. It's not an innate quality that you're born with, that your mother, focusing on be a good person and get an education, learn. Right. And that she never made you feel other or made you feel like, I just fucking love her she didn't put all her shit that she probably went through onto you. It was like they came over here and they were literally starting a new life and creating these great people with their core values, which I can't, it's like, that doesn't happen a lot with no matter what color you are, you know.
Right.
How come they left Haiti? Was it economic?
The government, I believe, my dad, and obviously opportunity. Because in Haiti, no matter how hard you work, you could bust your ass. They still little to no opportunity. In America, you could work really hard. There's very small opportunity, but at least there's some opportunity. You know. Right. My dad, you know, he bust his ass. He got like maybe 7 degrees. A degree in refrigeration, and air conditioning and roofing, like electrical. Right. And he bought his first house in, I believe in 67, I think. I was not even born yet. And then it's 69. And then he bought another house, and then he just kept, and he, working.
Did they leave their families behind, their parents and?
Yeah, they had to, because it's like you can't help the poor if you're one of them. You know your expression. Yeah. So, but when he got to a certain level, he started helping the family back in Haiti, either sending them money or supplies, or actually some family members he helped them come here. Right. Legally. So anybody's listening, is not illegally.
Yeah, and go fuck it. And if you are listening for that shit, don't listen anymore. I fucking hate you. Okay.
and he, let them stay. My dad had he bought an apartment building, and he let some family members stay for a real low rent. Right. So,
So your mother would take you and your brothers shopping to department stores or grocery stores, and she was so Haitian. She was still in that mindset that I need to bargain with these people, right?
Oh, she was a haggler, yeah.
Yeah. So I read a story where you were at the grocery store and she's haggling and you're embarrassed. And you stood by the bags and you said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know this woman. I'm just a bad boy.
Yeah, because this is at Pathmark.
Yeah.
And she was, at this point, it was not haggling. It was more like she'll carefully watch the cashier ring things up. And she's watching every item and watching what the register says. And then she'll stop. Everybody, stop packing. That is 90 cents. Why you charge me 95 cents? For what? Why 5 cents? I'm like, Ma, I'll give you 5 cents. I didn't say that.
Right, but you're thinking,
I'll give you 5 cents when we get home. Like it's 5 cents, it is like a long line, and she's stopping the assembly line, because it was me and my brother's packer. It's like an assembly line, right, of workers, and then she'll make a big deal, and the lady was like, "Here's 95 cents," and then I just like, when people are looking, I'm like, "Man, I'm just work here. Hey, you want your bag? I'm out of this as soon as I finish this." But
I mean, that is so funny and clever, and it's just, as the more I read about you and learn about you.
But at the same time, whenever they undercharge, she never said nothing. And as soon as she got outside, it was a huge thing. Oh, this is 80 cents, and she only charged me 70 cents. I made 10 cents. I'm like, okay. It was like the talk of all the way home, and then somehow she turns to education. Okay, you get to education, so you'll do stupid shit like that. Right. You'll do stupid stuff like that. She never credit, but she'll do stupid stuff like that. Right. Okay, I made 10 cents because she's stupid. Right. I'm like, okay.
So, I mean, it's like she's like a prophet trying to teach you, how to be in the world and what's important. Yeah. The more I read about you and get to know you, it's like, I feel like you had this is something I feel like we have in common, this strong mother who didn't take any shit from anyone and would call people out on their shit. And and a father who was dedicated to his work and bettering, his life and being a good person. And that idea of strict parents these old fashioned values that separates you from so many kids of your generation.
Nah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was not good when I was growing up.
Right, I know. Same with me. I was like, yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with a Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
You loved Richard Pryor growing up. You also doodled a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
I read this article where you said you would collect piles of drawings. You draw all weekend, doodle all weekend, mostly of superheroes, right? And on Monday morning, you would bring them to school and put them on your desk, and all the kids would be like, "Whoa, wow!"
Right. Junior high school when I first got. So my mom after Catholic school, my mom took us out immediately and put us in a public school.
Were all four of you in the Catholic school?
All four of us went to a Catholic school, and then she took us out and put us in public school. And then in the public school, for the first time in my life, I saw other kids that looked like me,
right?
Other kids that did not look like me. It was a mixture versus a Catholic school, just black and white. This school was like Spanish, white, black,
right?
Asian. And I just felt so happy in this. And I made friends for the first time. That was elementary school. But when I went to junior high school for the first time, I got into drawing, and I was drawing a lot. So I would take a whole weekend to draw a picture, and on Monday I would show it to the class. I don't know how that became a thing. Where Will got a new picture. Will got a new picture. So I was drawing this picture. I drew this picture. I think it was Spider-Man versus the Hulk. I can't really remember. And I had one of those binders, the dungarine made out of like dungarine or
yeah. And it had a pocket. Did it have a pocket on it?
No pocket, but it had those 3 clamps.
Yes.
Right, the thick clamps.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those binders, right? Just so you can understand, right? It had that metal thing inside that held the clamps and the paper. So I opened it and boom, and all the kids was around my desk and like, whoa, that's dope. Out of nowhere, a tiny little roach came from under the clamp.
A cockroach.
And another cockroach. And it was like, before you know, it was like 16 or 20 cockroaches coming out. And then someone screamed, "He got roaches," right? And this guy named Lamont grabbed my binder, threw it on the floor, and started stepping on the roaches and my pictures and stomping it. And the kids was running, the girls was running and screaming. The guys was laughing and pointing. They called me Roach Boy for a week, or months probably. And then I don't know how they found out I was Haitian. I must have told them I was Haitian. And they kept saying it's a Haitian thing, or he's Haitian, he do voodoo. And then I got bullied about being Haitian and having roaches and, doing voodoo and having AIDS.
That was it. That became your identity.
That became a thing. And I couldn't escape it.
Before that, when you were in the Catholic school, were you like sort of, were you questioning your religion at that time?
Not until I was 21. I was a diehard Catholic. I could have easily been one of Jesus' disciples.
Okay.
The 13th disciple.
Right.
That's how much I was into the belief, the religion.
So it was a guiding principle, and you were like, okay, yeah.
But it's a number of two things. It's 2 things. Number one, I believe in the religion. Number 2, it was also a way to get out the house.
Right.
So my parents were so strict. So I went to Saturday school. I went to church. I went to Thursday choir rehearsal. I can't even sing. I just went to choir rehearsal and just showed up, just so I could, hey, look, I'm outside, just chilling, But in my parents' eyes, as long as I was going to church or school, they were happy,
Were any of your brothers rebellious?
No, my older brother a little bit, but the belt put him in line.
Yeah, I got the belt. Yeah, no one gets the belt now. There you go to jail.
The worst line is when you do something and my parents, one of my parents was like, go get the belt.
Right.
Or my dad would say, go find something so I can beat your ass with.
Right.
So the psychology on your mind.
I know.
You got to go find something to whoop your own ass. And mind you, it can't be too small because he'll get even angry. Like, think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid? And it can't be too big because that's your ass.
Right. And
so you got to find the Goldilocks of belts.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I remember that. When you moved to a new high school, you were starting to hear horrible shit about Haitians, correct?
Yeah. Well, when I went to the high school, it was a high school far away from my home. Like, I had to take 2 trains to get there.
Right.
And then I remember I was having a good ass time, meeting kids, meeting people, going to class. And then one day, a group of kids was chilling, and one of the kids go, yo, you got an accent. Where you from? I'm like, here we go again. And then I just said, yo, I'm Jamaican. Like, oh, hey, man. And next thing you know, I was the coolest kid. I was Jamaican. I was Bob Marley,
Right.
And then I had to keep this up. I had to, when I'm talking to people, I would just blurt out something Jamaican. I'm like, yo, man, I didn't get to do the homework. Blood clot. Hey, do anybody know what time science starts? Booyaka. And then one kid just asked me, yo, why you keep doing that? Yo, dude, I'm Jamaican. Don't question that. That's what we do.
Right. And did you tell anyone? Did your brothers know that you were faking you were Jamaican?
No, I didn't know. No, we never talked about it. You gotta stand right. My parents never really talked about the Haitian culture or the Haitian struggle. Like, I wish they did, to make us appreciate the Haitian lifestyle more.
Why do you think they shielded you from that?
I don't think, I don't know. Not that they shield, it was not a shield thing, because they were proud to be Haitian. They were very proud, but at the time it was a thing where no one was really learning about people's background, I think, or cultures. It was not a thing, hey, learn about your history. That didn't come to like the mid 90s or late 90s about learning who you are and where you're from, They
didn't really talk a lot about
the Haitian, like my mother would listen to Haitian radio stations. She would talk.
And she had friends, Haitian friends, right?
But for some reason I don't know how to word it or phrase it. But at the time, it was not like a thing to talk about. Not that we were ashamed or they were ashamed, but it's not something that, hey, tell us what happened to Haiti. It was not right. It was like from now and on. It was the most conversations were about.
Right. So they were looking towards the future and really trying to leave that behind them. Unlike the Jews, who talk about it all the fucking time.
Which I think is great, because you the more you know about where you come from, your past, the more you know who you are and where you would want to go in life.
Right. And not repeat the mistakes.
Repeat the mistakes, yeah.
All right. So you moved to a new high school in 10th grade. You are a very, very good student, correct?
Yeah, I had to get, I'm good because the belt kept us good.
Right. So
one of my dad's thing was, if anybody get left back, they would have to spend the entire summer in the house, can't go outside, can't even look out the window. You have to study, you have to read out loud every day, and you have to do all the chores in the house. And I remember that used to scare the shit out of me. I'm like, because the summer was all we had.
Right.
It's like because we during school days, right? We had to be in the house by 5 p.m. And by that, I mean we were allowed to be on the porch, and that's it. But we couldn't be outside the porch or across the street. For a long time, we were not allowed to be across the street. So we had to be on the porch up until 5, and at 5 p.m. inside the house. Summertime, we were allowed to be outside till 9 p.m. And we could even run up and down the block. You know, I remember one time we were allowed to cross the street for the first time. And I was just fascinated of looking at my house from the other side of the street. I'm like, wow, this is how people sees us.
Right.
This side of the street, you know, and it just blew my mind. And then, and that was our summer. And I just remember I used to love summers. And
you know, that's so incredible. Can you imagine imposing those rules on a child today? They'd be like, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Like, as long as the internet and my video game is there, I'm good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You were the only Haitian family in your neighborhood. Is that correct?
That I knew of. So what happened is, maybe the Jewish people could relate to this. There was a lot of, I call them closet Haitians. Right. We like I said, we pretend we were not Haitian. We didn't want to get bullied. There was a lot of hate on Haitians. So we was the only ones that I knew of. As I got older, when I got to college, I found out there was 3 other Haitian families. I thought they were African-American and they were Haitian. I'm like, wait, you're Haitian too? You never said nothing. And then my friend Liz, the person I'm talking about, she said, you never said nothing. So you're just as guilty of closet Haitian as I am. And then we laughed about it and like, wow. So it was like the Haitians that admit that they are Haitian, to me, for the most part, are the ones that live around other Haitians, where you could have friends, you could communicate. You have some people that you can relate to. But when you're the only one on your block like that, and you know it's not good to admit it, then you're like,
yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's like being in the closet, you know?
Or Jewish people, I heard that you guys just pretend you're not Jewish, right?
There are Jews who assimilate. They change their last names.
Right.
They join like country clubs that don't allow Jews. I mean, there's so many closeted Jews.
No, but I understand that to be in the 50s or whatever, but why now? Why are they doing it now?
I feel like there's a lot of anti-Semitism, but I do think it's shame brought down from generation to generation, you know, that these people don't want that to be their identifier. I mean, I'm proud. I am proud. You're proud of your, you know, but oh my God. Yeah, it's disconcerting. And it makes me feel bad. Like, really? So you're just going to deny?
I'm proud now. Like, obviously, when I was in high school, when I got to college, that's when I became proud. That's when I started learning about the culture, and the Haitians, this little group of slaves beat the big French army, you know, and so it's like, this is what I'm saying, like, history and education is so important, because if I would have known that, I think I would have owned up and I would have kicked those bullies in the ass. Like, you know what we did to the French, bitch? Yeah.
Do you understand now why your parents did that?
They didn't hide the fact that we're Haitian.
Right. But I'm saying, do you understand why they didn't, harp on that? And like, well, you go tell those kids, like.
No, well, I never told them it's because I never told my parents why I got bullied. I just, my dad was fight back until you have to. Right. So like, don't let words or whatever get to you, but if they get physical, then
Yeah, stand up for yourself. Yeah.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and, sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait. And then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
All right, so you go to City College of New York.
Yep.
Right, and you study electrical engineering.
Electromechanical engineering.
Oh yeah, that's what I wrote that down. Sorry.
Only school that was teaching electromechanical engineering at the time, which is the study of robots, which is a combination of electronics and meets mechanics.
Where did your brothers, what did they end up studying?
Me and my second older brother, we studied the same major. My older brother, I forgot what he studied. And my younger brother, he studied something to do with food. I can't remember the title.
Okay. So your older brother goes to college. So this is like, your parents are probably like, bing, you know what I mean?
Look, we all went to college.
Right. No, I'm just saying.
My parents was like, us all going to college. My parents were more like, that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
As opposed to, oh, wow, my kids go to college. Like,
right.
That's what they're going to do.
That's the way I grew up too. There's it wasn't a choice. It's not
exactly.
I think I make no, it's like, no, you go to college and then you decide whether you want an advanced degree after that, but you will be getting a bachelor's degree. There's no question.
Right. Okay? So it's like, I remember when some lady, a neighbor, was so happy that her kid went to college.
Right.
And my parents are just looking at her like, okay.
So you start, how did you get interested in robots and all of that kind of stuff?
I remember one day, my dad bought a digital clock, right? And I woke up like 5 a.m. I remember looking at the digital clock. It was 5 o'clock, and then it went to 5:01, and I was just fascinated. Like, what's making it do that? How is going from 0 to 10? Like, I was just fascinated. And I remember I opened the clock one time, and I was looking at the components. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, and that's what got me into technology and stuff.
So you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
But did you live at home? You lived at home during college?
I was living at home, yep.
Did you hate that?
Huh?
Do you feel like you didn't get a college life because of that?
No, I didn't. I'm not one of these, I missed the college life because I didn't know much about the college life. Like, going to a dorm and going away.
Right.
I was just happy that, I didn't get left back in high school or elementary school. And then I found something that I was happy. I loved, I wanted to get into. And at the college, I got me a job at this company called International Robotics, where I was building robots. And I was like, where else I'm going to find a job like this, And actually, one of the robots I worked on was in the movie Rocky IV. Did you see Rocky?
No.
Yeah. So Rocky, I think it was Rocky's trainer or whatever. It was his birthday. And so the robot comes out with a cake. Happy birthday. I can't remember what the robot said.
You get this job. Do you have to get dressed up? What is it like? Are you living at home with your parents?
I wore the same outfit I wear on stage.
But your father growing up wore the same pants every day. Is that correct?
My dad's thing was, as long as your clothes is clean, why buy a new outfit? Why buy new clothes? He wore the same pants every day we had a washer dryer in our house. In the house.
Right.
And as soon as he get home, we'll wash his clothes. And then if they weren't ready, he had another set of pants that looked just like the pants. But I never understood that until now. I'm like, you know what? Buying new clothes, wearing clothes is just to impress other people.
Right. I think people realize that during the pandemic too. It's like, wait a minute, I've saved so much fucking money not buying shit to wear that I'm going to wear once or twice. It's like ridiculous. You have this regular job. I mean, you love comedy, right?
Yeah, I love comedy.
You had a boss who also loved comedy. Is that correct?
Yeah, Maris Ambas. His name was Maris.
And he sort of got you into. Is that who got you into?
He got me to push me to like pursue it, because my parents was like, anti, like, do you say a joke for what?
Right.
Tell us. My mom and dad told me to tell him a joke. But I never joke with my dad. And now he wants me to tell me a joke. Let me see if you're good. Like, no.
Right.
And so Maris really got me into, to follow and pursue. And I'm like,
because you were funny at work, right?
Yeah, I was funny-ish at work. But my thing was, I was really they would laugh. Just remember they were laughing. But I used to think like, he's trying to get me to follow and pursue my career in comedy. But I'm like, but I work for you.
Right.
It's like, are you trying to tell me something? Like,
yeah. But your parents never thought of the arts as a career. They thought of it as, okay, you want to draw. But you got to work, and which I think is a common mindset of immigrants. That no, this is the only way, the surefire. It was because of security, it's an interesting mindset, and people still have it. Like, right. I have relatives that their kids want to go into the arts, and they're like, and they're like, don't talk to me about, like, you're complaining to me about your kid wanting to be an actor or a writer or a pottery maker. I'm the wrong person,
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, my parents was like, my dad was like, he also always pushed, learn as much as you can.
Right.
Your mind is like space. It's unlimited, the amount of information you can learn, the people you can learn about, the religion, different religions you can learn about, different cultures, different ethnicities. The more you learn about the world, you could travel without ever leaving your place.
Right.
He didn't really, what he said was you open your head and you put things inside. You put things inside, and when you go to college, there are so many choices. But the choices were like doctor, lawyer, engineer. So many choices you could be. Right.
Doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Those are the choices.
Those are the choices.
Yeah, but to him, those are a lot of, look at all the choices. You could become in life, doctor, lawyer, engineer. So I became an engineer because I was really good with math, science, and physics.
Yeah, me too. Oh, God, that's funny.
Yeah.
So you started doing comedy, stand-up, behind your parents' back.
Yep.
And that was in 1997, am I correct?
No, good Lord.
No, it was earlier.
Yeah, 94.
Oh, no. 94. And then yeah. So you started doing it. Where did you go?
I went to this place called the Uptown Comedy Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember a comedian named Dougie Doug?
Yes.
Dougie Doug is the one. I was up in Harlem, and I ran to Dougie Doug, and I saw him in the street. I said, yo, dude, oh my God, I love your comedy. And he invited me to come to the Uptown Comedy Club. And I remember when I went there, I never been, at this point in my life, I've never been to a dance club. I've never been to a comedy club.
Crazy.
So this is
and you're living in New York City. Like, I don't think people are understanding. You're in the center of the world, and you are completely sheltered. Like, you've never been to these where kids are sneaking out of like high school to go, you know?
Right. And of course, I never drank, never did any drugs.
Right.
But Yes, most of it had to do with my parents, but after I got older, I realized like, man, I don't need this stuff. I was not peer pressured. But I went to a comedy club. It blew my mind just watching people just
So
sitting.
you walk in after never being in a club.
Yeah.
Can you just explain what that was like?
It looked like, okay, remember when you go to register at school, at college, and kids are walking in and, I'm walking in and I felt like I had that feeling at first. And then, they told me the price. I said, oh, Dougie Doug invited me. Oh, Dougie Doug, come on in. I'm like, oh, shoot. I just name dropped for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
And then they walked me and they brought me to a seat in the back of the room. And I remember sitting down. I just remember, and then it reminded me of like college or school when you're at an auditorium and they're about to watch a movie or something. And then the show started. And I just remember just like, holy the jokes is coming out so fast.
Right.
I was laughing. One of the best things in life, the reason why I like comedy, one of the best things in life to me, or the three best things, is laughing.
Oh.
Laughing your ass off.
Hallelujah.
Right?
I do not want to live in a world without laughter. Sorry. The most important thing.
Number two,
laugh.
eating healthy foods, eating great foods. If you think about the best times of your life, right? We spend it where our friends are either laughing or eating great food, right? And the third one is orgasms, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But those are three things in life where you could do. It's just like the natural body.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yes.
And so I just remember being in this space and just laughing for an hour and a half, laughing my ass off. And then every time the host came out, I'm like, what the hell is this? I just remember like, this is what people are doing?
Right. You started doing it when you were doing it behind your parents' back. Did you tell anyone in your family? Did you tell any of your brothers?
My brothers know, obviously.
Okay, so your brothers know.
Yeah.
And then you start doing comedy and you always struggled with enunciating words because of your Haitian parents.
Well, it was a combination of stuff.
Okay.
I had a lazy tongue. I had a Haitian accent.
I have a lazy tongue too. Hey, now. That's a lesbian joke, people. Yeah.
I had a Haitian accent that we're trying to get rid of. So,
right.
I didn't pronounce words properly. And then a lot of times I didn't give a damn.
Right.
So when I used to talk a lot with my hands.
Your hands and your body.
And, like I went flying and then I was driving my car,
Right.
So at least if you didn't understand what I said, when you saw this, like, okay, you must have said driving the car.
Right. It's also a very active and theatrical way to tell a story. Thank you so much for listening to part 1 of Kill Me Now with my friend, Wil Sylvince. I love him. Kill Me Now is produced by Laura Vogel, edited by Colin Schmaling. Podcast would not be possible without the help, love, and dedication of Brittany Jo Sowards. Now, if you like the show, you should be a subscriber, okay? If you don't like the show, then I don't know why you're even listening to this, because that means you listen to the end. But you should subscribe. You should leave a review. You should tell everyone you know about this podcast, okay? Because it's a labor of love. It's a labor of love. And I need more listeners. I need a lot, but I would love to have more listeners. If you are living in the Florida area, get it, Florida area, it's a whole state. No, if you're living near Boca, I will be performing in Boca on November 6th. That's November 6th. It's a Saturday night at the Raz Room in Misner Park. Okay. Oh, God, daylight savings time ends on the 7th, which is going to be so fucking depressing. Also, if you haven't purchased my book and you're thinking about, free speech and Chappelle and all this other shit, my book would be very helpful. Yes, I can say that when they come for the comedians, we're all in trouble. It's a great book. And the audiobook is also great. And I'm great. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. But, no, I am kind of great. That's it. That's all I have to say to you. Please go to my website if you want any information on me. I don't know why you would, but, I am a fascinating person. JudyGold.com. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at JudyGold, JEWDYGOLD, because I'm a Jew. God, I'm funny. Anyway, wear a mask, get vaxxed, get your booster. Holidays are coming.
So I don't know what that means, but it means that the holidays are coming and it's 95 degrees. So that's really not scary at all, is it? But anyway, thank you. I really appreciate your love and support and listening to my podcast and just being you. And as we always say, so long.
Don't forget to tune in next week to Just Kill Me Now.
It's Just Kill Me.
Oh. Don't forget to turn for part 2 on Just Kill Me.
No, it's not. It's
Just Kill Me.
No.
Judy Gold's Just Kill Me.
Just.
Just Kill Me Now.